It's day 3 of the Cooper Tires Grand Prix Sebring here at the legendary Sebring International Raceway. Both USF Pro 2000 and USF 2000 will be on the track here. Of course, USF 2000 making their debut as part of this 4-day weekend event. Joining me here right now, the driver will start on the pole position for USF Pro 2000, the race about to take place. Michael D'Orlando, you needed this right now. A couple of rough finishes at St. Petersburg. A tough one yesterday with a mechanical at the start. P1 in qualifying, you roll off from the front, inside of the front row. That is huge.
It really is, Rob. It's been a long time coming, especially these last couple of races. Have been wanting to kick me down, but you know, it's a test. That's all it is, and it's about how much you can move on, learn from your mistakes, and persevere. And I think that today is a good example of that. For the past 3 races, it's been hard to keep a level mindset and hard to keep pushing. But I mean, it pays off when we know we were quick. We knew we were quick at St. Pete. We knew we were quick here. It's just whether or not we were able to put it all together. And you know, I'm finally proud to be able to prove it that Tier 3 Motorsport and I have a quick car here. And I mean, it's the number one. It's got to be on pole position, right?
Michael D'Orlando, last year's USF 2000 champion, taking the scholarship, of course, to move his way up to USF Pro 2000 this year. Again, you kind of mentioned it. You know you have the pace here. What do you do as a driver when things keep beating you down like that? You have a mechanical here. You fight back for one good finish at St. Petersburg. The issue yesterday at the very start. How do you keep your mindset focused to be able to get that race win that you need?
Well, racing's a very emotional sport when things don't go right. So I find a lot of the time, if I can find a place just to be alone and just kind of let my emotions flow, let it all out. So when I need to be in the zone, when I need to be focused on racing, I can be level-headed and all that kind of stuff. And that's been super helpful for me recently. Like even going to the gym, and after St. Pete, I do a little bit of boxing at UFC Gym in Merrimack, and even when I'm at UNC Charlotte, I hit the gym there, and I get a little bit of my anger out. But you know, it's a lot of hard work, and it's a lot of mind games, a lot of mental preparation and dedication. So I find that over the years that I feel like I've learned how to keep a level head when I'm here at the racetrack. And even yesterday, I think, even though it was a bad day, I wanted to make sure that, like, hey, we can still learn from this, we can still move forward. And you know, today is a good example of that. Yesterday was a low, and today's the high. So we'll see what we can do in race 2.
Let's talk about the track itself. Obviously, you know, just a week ago was the 12 hours of Sebring. When you guys rolled in here, the track much different than it was during spring training. A lot of rubber was down, but now our rubber's going down. Has the track transitioned at all? It's going to be probably 90 degrees when we go racing here in a couple of minutes.
It's been pretty slick. I remember yesterday we were going after the Porsches, I believe, but this time we're going to go back out after the historics, and normally the older cars tend to lay down a lot of oil, so the first couple of laps definitely going to have to give it get a little bit of a feel for it, and then hopefully as the race progresses we can start getting into our rhythms and start getting some good lap times down. But I think it's going to be a lot of, you know, whoever can adapt the best in this next race, and I think we're pretty good at that, so we'll move forward. You've
obviously watched started a lot of races from the pole position. Is there a mindset going in here right now, or really are you just trying to get through turn 1 and then kind of see what happens?
Well, as the pole position, I can set the pace on the start. I can kind of go whenever I want, or under certain restrictions. So I think I'm going to try and just do whatever I can, whatever I think's best, and especially going through turn 1, it's a fast corner. So I think by the time we get to turn 3, everything should be sorted out a little bit, maybe do a little bit of offensive move. But I'm going to try and do whatever I can to make sure turn 3 through 5 is as quick as possible, just so I can get away and have a little bit of a gap into turn 7, because that seems to be the biggest lunge spot. So
obviously, folks, in any race like this, everybody has a little bit different focus in terms of coming into the event. A driver like Miles Rhodes got a big lead. Doesn't need to be super aggressive. He can hold on to a position and come out with a good spot and still have that point lead when we head to the month of May in Indianapolis. A driver like Michael D'Orlando, though, he's going to be super aggressive. He needs a race win, so watch for him to come out at turn number 1 and likely turn number 3 with the lead. Right after this break, we come back. I'll give you the full grid of the second race for the drivers in USF Pro 2000.
We're like any normal family. We just get shorter wait times because we buy and book online at discounttire.com.
So easy.
Which gives us more time for things like...
Come on, Mom.
Ready? And it's all thanks to Kyle. Thank you. Get 30% shorter average wait time when you buy and book online at discounttire.com.
Let's get you taken care of.
Your Uncle Cooper. Your SUV is a multi-purpose tool, like a corkscrew fish scaler. And that means your tires should be multi-purpose too. Like these Cooper rugged Treks. They're tough, but also run smooth as butter. And with dual sidewalls, it's like having a multi-tool that can look like a completely different multi-tool. Don't take that idea, by the way. I'm gonna patent it. Go with the Coopers. Cooper! It's your Uncle Cooper. Sure, once in a blue moon, you might need your tires for hauling a horse in a hailstorm. But most days, you're gonna need your tires for tougher things, like teaching your sister's kid how to parallel park. Thankfully, these Cooper Enduro Maxes aren't just tough, they're everyday tough. Okay, there's a lot of improvement. Go with the Coopers. Cooper!
We're like any normal family. We just get shorter wait times because we buy and book online at discounttire.com.
So easy.
Which gives us more time for things like...
Come on, Mom.
It's ready.
Wow. Are you sure it's ready?
Oh, it's ready. And it's all thanks to Kyle. Thank you. Get 30% shorter average wait time when you buy and book online at discounttire.com.
Let's get you taken care of.
And we are back live here at Sebring International Raceway for the Cooper Tires Grand Prix of Sebring, the back end of the doubleheader for the drivers in the USF Pro 2000 Championship presented by Cooper Tires. 19 drivers set to go. And again, fired up for what should be a really solid event. The driver starting on the pole, Michael D. Orlando, needs a big recovery after 3 tough starts to his program here, of course, running the USF Pro Championship Scholarship Colors, having won the USF 2000 title last year in 2022 in that great battle with the 2 Pabst drivers, Miles Rowe and Jace Denmark. Again, drivers on pit lane right now. We're looking forward to getting the call from race control to find out when we're going to be firing things up here. Again, 19 drivers set to go for a 15-lapper. We'll follow it up about an hour's time with USF 2000. Joining me now in the broadcast booth here before we get things underway, a rookie driver in USF Juniors, Jack Jeffers, 3rd place in points, 3 solid top 5 results, including 2 podiums. Jack, great way to start the season, man. You get out of the gate, podium a couple of times. You must feel pretty good right now.
Yeah, I feel really good, and I'm really happy to be here.
Tell me a little bit about those races. Obviously, up front, your teammate Joey Brienza starting from pole. You were in the middle of the fight. Were you expecting the way the racing went, green to checker every race?
I was not fully expecting that, but the racing was really clean, and I was really happy with it. And it was a little tougher than I thought it'd be, but in the end, we still got solid, consistent results and great points for myself and the team.
That's what it's about. Obviously, you feel like so many other drivers, Jack, coming through karting. You've done a lot of races. It's not like it's the first time you've rolled to a green flag before. Hundreds of races over your short career thus far. Was the expectation coming in to try to get podiums? Were you thinking about race wins? Or was it more just kind of getting experience coming out of the gate?
No, the expectation was definitely to get podiums, and I expected wins for myself, even though the little amount of time I have in the car, I still need to provide and be there for the team and for myself because my future relies on good results and getting wins.
And it's all about experience at that level. USF juniors, again, waiting to look to see where we are in terms of getting ready to fire things back up. Again, I believe the scheduled green flag time for this particular race is closing in right now. It might have actually been 3:20, so I think we're almost ready to get rolling here right now. Of course, trying to wait to see what we can get here from race control to find out when we are going to be going green. The thing I had was, I think, green flag at 3:30, so driver start your engines would be about a minute ago. So we're just waiting to hear from Joel Miller, our race control, to see whether or not we're ready to fire things up. Again, 3:25 was the scheduled start time for the command. And again, just waiting to get the call from race control. Oftentimes we get held back a little bit depending on if any of the crews from the track are still out there potentially cleaning up a corner that may have happened. We had a race on track for the Porsche Series before us, so indeed waiting right now just to find out whether or not we'll be going green here. Let's have a look at the grid at this point. I think we can get it in before we get rolling here. We're scheduled to go with 19 drivers on the grid. Yuvan Sundarmurthy with an issue in qualifying is going to start at the tail of the field. We'll be watching him work his way forward. Sundarmurthy in the number 90 for Exclusive Autosport starting 19th. Row number 9 will have the Neotech Motorsports driver Nick Monteiro and the number 81, the Brazilian, starting on the outside of that row. And on the inside will be the number 93 of Lindsey Brewer. We'll go through the rest of the field because I'm told we're ready to go, so let's send it down to pit lane. And drivers, start your engines. Got the call from race control. The track is clear. Drivers are firing up the engines. Let's continue through the driver introductions. Row number 8, Christian Weir on the outside for TJ Speed Motorsports in the number 32, his first year here in USF Pro 2000. Alongside him, Ricardo Escoto, the Mexican driver for J. Howard Driver Development, in the number 4. Row 7 will have Bijoy Garg on the outside, the Californian in the number 7 for D-Force Racing. And on the inside from Indianapolis, Indiana, it is Jack William Miller in the number 40. Row 6 will have Jackson Lee on the outside from Avon, Indiana, in the number 47 for Turn 3 Motorsports. Inside from Ireland for Turn 3, it's Jonathan Brown in the number 2. We'll go now into the top 10. Row number 5 on the outside. This driver on the podium in round number 1. Keep an eye out for the Swedish driver, Joel Gramforce, in the number 92, the Corpay car for Exclusive Autosport. Very quick, started 6th yesterday in race 1, worked his way to 2nd. It'll be a deeper start here for Granforth in 10th, but I think he'll be a driver on the move early. He'll start alongside Jordan Missing, another driver with Pabst Racing, who has been very good throughout this week, finishing the top 5 yesterday. Row number 4 will have a former USF 2000 champion, second at both races as well at St. Petersburg, but a DNF yesterday. Kiko Porto falling down the order in the championship standings, dropping all the way down, I believe, to 4th from 2nd. Not what he wanted to start this weekend. He'll look to get that number 12 D-Force machine up into the top 5, potentially the podium, to try to recover some points. Alongside Porto, Reese Ushijima in the number 6 for J. Howard Driver Development. Row number 3 will put Salvador de Alba, the Mexican driver, the number 91, on the outside of that row, P6. He's going to get out of this car, drive to Miami, jump in a plane, get home to Mexico because he's running in the NASCAR Mexico Series tomorrow. No practice, no qualifying. A back-of-the-pack start for Salvador de Alba, but he'll get out of his USF Pro 2000 and jump in the Mexican NASCAR machine when he gets back there on Saturday evening. Jace Denmark alongside him, starting 5th, P1 yesterday in qualifying. A solid run for Jace. In that number 20 machine, he'll look to work his way back up front. Row number 2 sees Liram Zendelli, the German, running under the Albanian flag for TJ Speed Motorsports. Zendelli in the number 10 with F3 and F2 experience. He'll start 4th alongside your point leader right now, Miles Rowe for Pabst Racing, alongside Force Indy in the number 99 row. 2 wins, 3 podiums on the season already. He'll start 3rd. Watch for him to be aggressive in the opening corner. But with 19 drivers on the field, we'll put 2 on the front row. Off pole from Italy for TJ Speed, Francesco Pizzi in the number 55, starting 2nd. He'll join me in the booth for the USF 2000 race. We'll see whether or not he stands on top of the podium today, because the driver who's going to lead them to the green when they come out of Sunset Bend, turn number 17 from Hartsdale, New York, Michael D'Orlando in that scholarship car, the reigning USF 2000 champion. D'Orlando laying down at 158.538 to earn the pole position, and he will start P1. D'Orlando and Pizzi, P1, P2. Rowe and Zendelli on row 2, Denmark and De Alba row 3, Ushijima and Porto row 4, Missing and Granforce on row 5, Brown and Lee row 6, Miller and Garg row 7, Escoto and Weir row 8, Brewer and Monteiro row 9, and Sundarmurthy on row 10. Quickly back to Jack Jeffers, USF Juniors driver. What's going through your mind right now? You're coming down at a 16 to 17. You're going green next time by. What are you thinking?
You know, I'm getting focused. I'm making sure that the tires and brakes are heated up and get ready for turn 1. And if I'm not the pole sitter, I'm all eyes focused on the pole sitter to see when he's going to go and make sure I get a good jump. Luckily, Joey, my teammate, was a pole sitter, so we could strategize a little bit. But if I'm Michael's teammate, I definitely talk to him before the race to see what he's going to do.
Here they come, folks. Indeed, Jack Jefferson, you're focusing on that pole 1 guy, and that is Michael D'Orlando. They're coming into position. We are ready to go racing for race number 2, and we are green, green, green. And how about 4 wide coming down into turn number 1, thinking about 5. Down to the inside. We're going to potential move from Miles Rowe. Rowe to the bottom of the racetrack. He'll go to the side. Let's see if D'Orlando can hold him. No, one driver's going to go off. Couple drivers potentially 4 wheels off. D'Orlando had to check up a bit as Rowe came across the bow from left to right. Miles Rowe again from 3rd to 1st. The battle further back. Pizzi holding on to 3rd position. 4th, I believe, is going to be Zendelli as he gets a good move out there. Indeed, Liram Zendelli able to get ahead as a hectic opening lap as they come through turn number 6. They'll work their way down now to turn number 7. It's about an 8-car length lead right now. Miles Rowe, once again, the monster at the start. Big move to the bottom of the racetrack coming in, and as I believe, Zendelli to the bottom. He may have been able to get by. So some good racing there with Liam Zendelli, Kiko Porto. I think Pizzi right in there as well, but the star on the opening circuit, at least the opening couple of corners, was indeed Miles Rowe as he's able to get the run on D'Orlando. And leads coming out of 1. There's the lead coming out of turn number 10 right now. The 2 TJ Speed cars in 3rd and 4th. Porto runs in the 5th spot. And again, the fight is underway. The opening lap. Jack Jeffers, back to you. Was the opening lap this hectic for USF Juniors?
Yes, it was very hectic. It was you had to make sure you keep your position and fight for your position. But yes, this is very similar.
I know all the races I've had, you're kind of just up there with elbows out trying to find any opening you can possibly get. And I guarantee if you were mid-pack coming through, you saw all the dust up on the exit of turn number 1. You were holding your breath there for sure. I'm surprised we didn't have anybody go around. And indeed, if someone had gone 4 wheels off, you had to expect potential damage. But as it looks right now, everybody clean and green. We'll give you a full field rundown when they come back through. Leaders looking good, and in fact, to me, it looks like D'Orlando potentially closing right up now here. There's a little defensive move further back, and let's make it 2 wide. They're going to come down the bottom of the racetrack. That looks like a good move for Jace Denmark. Denmark, I think, potentially by Ushijima there. He's going to try to cross him up. Oh, big front washout there for Denmark over the bumps of Sunset Bend. Opening lap, a hectic one. And indeed, that's a Jay Howard car battling it out right now with Denmark. I think that's Ushijima. And look at this scrap here. Joel Gramforce is coming. Another driver's off and around. One driver's gone around a 360, but he continues on. The dust, though. Drivers all looking for the visibility coming through the corner. Clean so far for 3, 4, and 5. Oh, that's a driver around. That's D'Orlando. D'Orlando has gone around in turn number 4. Car has come to a stop. He'll have to get the thing refired. Not sure whether or not there was contact in the back as he was kind of transitioning back through 4. He gets it refired, but is not going to be able to make the corner, the short radius wheel turn that we have in these race cars. He has to back it up and continue. He's going to hope for a full course yellow. The pole sitter has fallen to the tail of the field. And another bad luck run here for Michael D'Orlando. He was the champion last year in USF 2000, but luck has not gone his way thus far in 2023. Tough one for D'Orlando. Up front, though, as we said, the leader is still Miles Rowe. Second was D'Orlando, but that's going to put Liram Zendelli now up into second as D'Orlando was quite a ways back when that spin happened. It didn't happen from P2. He was deeper in the field. Like he may have got swallowed up a little bit in 1, 2, and 3. Back out at turn number 15, over to 16. The gap lengthening now for Miles Rowe as he tries to win his 3rd straight race. 2 turn 3 motorsport drivers a little further back going at it as well. That might be Jackson Lee, I think, and Jonathan Brown. In fact, those are the only 2 drivers left for turn 3, so indeed, that is Lee and Brown. Just outside the top 10, I believe. Defensive move there coming to the inside for Pizzi as he's got Porto thinking about the outside. How about the outside of Sunset Bend? Porto, there's a lot of bumps out there. Going to try to run around the outside. How about running the rail? Oh, and he's through. Does he hold the spot? Pizzi on the inside. Porto showing he has no fear at all. Running around the outside of Sunset Bend. Gets on the inside. Here comes Joel Gramforce. Oh, up the inside. That's Denmark. I think that might have been De Alba instead. I thought it was Denmark. It might have been De Alba. More drivers dropping wheels. These guys are hanging it out there. I think that was Salvador De Alba. Yeah, the exclusive Autosport driver throwing it in. Here comes as well. That is Denmark trying to get by, I think, Ushijima. Or it might be Pizzi getting shoveled back a little bit. Pizzi, of course, on the inside had to pinch the exit because with Porto running the outside, he's got to stay down on the bottom and could not, of course, unwind the wheel. Jack Jeffers, did you try any moves like that around the outside of turn 17?
No, I have not. I know it gets very, very bumpy out there, and you go too wide, you get some holes. I know the driver in front of me tried it, and he unfortunately went around, and that was his race over. So I know that it's not the preferred line, and it's good to go for a switchback. But
yeah, good to see the example there, though. I think it was Quinn Armstrong that tried it in front of you and ended up losing the rear. That's what I was wondering about. We saw that happen to Quinn in USF Juniors trying the outside run. The car had a bump mid-corner, push him another full width out, and a huge bump literally lifted the back wheels off the ground. Luckily for Porto, he was able to hold smoothly through that second groove. And again, as he's on the outside, he's got the, not quite as much wheel in it, and that's why Pizzi kind of had to get out of it, had to wait a bit to roll back onto the throttle. Here's more fighting further back. That's Jack William Miller getting challenged big time here right now by Jackson Lee. Leaders coming out of turn number 16. The gap last time by for Miles Rowe, 1.5 seconds over Liram Zendelli. So again, Rowe, Zendelli, Porto, Pizzi, and De Alba was the lineup last time by, but we're seeing some movement. Here comes Ushijima. He's going to go to the inside of Joel Gramforce coming down into turn number 17. Gramforce kind of gets off a little bit, back on the throttle, lets it happen. Yeah, tries to do the over-under crossover. About what you can do right now. A very similar car to yours right there, Jack. You run the Corpay colors in USF Juniors. Joel Gramforce, your exclusive Autosport teammate, in that metallic raspberry for Corpay. That was the move to make, right? Losing the spot on the inside, you might as well check up and try the over-under.
Yeah, you might as well try to check up an over-under, and if you can't get it, you can always tuck back into their draft and try in turn one. If they block turn one around the outside, it's very sketchy, but, racing's racing. If the driver is a respectful driver, he'll give you space. Or if the driver doesn't offend, you can always go back down the inside. So it's really up to you, and you get another opportunity if they get by you at 17.
Indeed, a pretty good run there, as we said, for Joel Gramforce trying to get back by, but Reese Ushijima, the driver, on the move, no doubt about it. Rowe, Zendelli, De Alba, Porto, Pizzi, the top five. Denmark in 6th, Ushijima in 7th, Gramforce 8th, Miller 9th, and Jackson Lee 10th. Brown now runs 11th. Jordan Missig in 12th. Bejoy Garg 13th. Ricardo Escoto in 14th. Yuvan Sundermurti 15th. Nicholas Montiero 17th. He's actually 16th. Weir 17th. Brewer and D'Orlando rounding out the top 18. The 19 drivers on the field. Up front, though, it's a 2-second advantage right now for Miles Rowe. And again, super aggressive at the start. I talked about it in the pre-show. A driver like Miles Rowe didn't have to be aggressive. He has a pretty solid lead already in the championship coming into this particular race based on a 3rd and 2 wins. He had a 24-point lead over Pizzi, and right now looking to extend that, but I say he didn't need to be aggressive, but I think we all know that Miles Rowe is about as aggressive as he's going to be on the racetrack. He wants to win every race he possibly can. He's thinking about Indy next in 2024. And, of course, that Pabst Racing Force Indy machine, all the Pabst cars have been good coming out of the gate this year, and he now leads by 2 seconds. We'll see what happens as they come all the way down the line. You see the two drivers from turn 3 right there. That is Jackson Lee and Jonathan Brown. That is 10th and 11th right now. Both those drivers comfortably running mid-pack. Right behind them, though, is Jordan Missig. I'm sure he doesn't like to be back there in 12th. He's been used to running in the top 5, top 6 all weekend long. Drivers looking good here right now, though. Rowe, Zendelli, 1-2. The gap, though, 2.1 seconds. Fast driver on the racetrack, though, purple. Last time by was Francesco Pizzi. Jack Jeffers, let's talk a little about the progression of your car throughout the entire race. Did you find that the car, while it got lighter, were you getting more grip? Or you getting faster and faster? Were the grip levels still there at the end?
Yes, the grip levels are still there. You get faster and faster and faster, but at the end of the day is when it's really hot. You get a little bit slower at the end, but you're not going to go faster.
Tires holding on enough that you're able to still have the grip levels, but you burn that fuel off. Getting lighter and lighter. Tires, of course, coming up and getting where they need to be early in the race. But as that car gets lighter and the drivers get more and more comfortable, keep pushing the edge here. They continue to get fast laps. We're early in this one. It's a 15-lapper for drivers here in USF Pro 2000. 4 down. Pizzi, as we said, was the fastest driver, but in fact, everybody but one driver in the top 7 last time by, actually everybody but 3 turning actually their fastest laps. So again, look at this battle we're seeing further back. Another scrap side by side as they work their way up here into turn. Oh, a little bit move across as well. Oh, we're getting aggressive here now. That is De Alba going to work on the number 12. That is actually for 3rd spot, I think. De Alba trying to get himself on the podium here. Right behind him as well is Francesco Pizzi. So we're seeing this scrap right now for P3. Way to the bottom, because here comes Pizzi all the way down to the white line as he's trying to get by De Alba. De Alba going to try to run the outside on him. They'll work their way through. Pizzi looking to the bottom. Can't quite make it stick. De Alba made it really hard. Look at this. Here comes, I believe, Grand Force up the left. Denmark. Denmark, I think, coming up to fight as well. Indeed, yeah. Jace Denmark almost loses it through turn number 4. Oh, the tail wagging the dog through turn number 4. Great save there. A lot of wheel in it for Jace Denmark as he tried to get on that throttle to finish off that pass as Pizzi, who couldn't get by De Alba, loses the exit speed out of turn number 1. And right there to capitalize was Jace Denmark. And they're all attacking right now as well as Risu Shijima's right there, as is Joel Gramforce. So great racing here in USF Pro 2000. Jack Jeffers, what do you think? These guys are laying it out here. I know you want to be in this series in a couple of years, but these guys are battling it out. Very similar to what we saw from you guys in USF Juniors.
Yeah, these guys are going very, very hard, and it's crazy how aggressive they can be, and they're still clean and haven't crashed yet, and it's really, really cool to see.
Yeah, they're running really strongly out front, and they're giving each other enough room, which we like to see. And we expect that the higher you go up in the ladder system, you want the racecraft. You want to see the drivers who have worked their way through juniors and USF 2000. They give each other a bit of room. It's hardcore racing, but you run clean. And that's what we like to see here for sure. Being told by race control to the 55 of Pizzi, warned for blocking in this last couple of laps. So Pizzi told, back off a little bit. Right now with Rowe up front, Liam Zendelli having the best run he's had so far. Kiko Porto back on it, able to chase now. Before he had to kind of defend a bit from Salvador de Alba. That battle from Pizzi gave Porto a little bit more breathing room, so he runs in 3rd, and he needs it. He needs a good recovery here. He's still going to lose. Everybody's in fact going to lose ground to Miles Rowe, but Porto wants to get himself the points he needs to get himself back up a bit. De Alba right there. Behind De Alba, Joel Gramforce, I think, is starting to put the pressure. No, he's actually lost a spot as he's working on Pizzi. So it's De Alba, Denmark, Ushijima, Pizzi, and Gramforce. Then a 2.5 back to Miller, and then Lee, and now Missing. Missing able to get by Jonathan Brown as another driver's dropped the wheel. Dusted it up in turn number 1. Look at this fight here now. This is solid stuff. I believe that is Lee, Missing, Brown, Garg, all fighting for a position inside the top 10. I believe just coming to the halfway point right now. It'll be 8 down. I believe 8 down, 7 to go next time by, a 15-lapper. The drivers here in USF Pro 2000, again, they're all racing for that scholarship worth over $664,000. Scholarship to move to the Indy Next Series next year. Rowe, Zendelli, Porto, De Alba, and Denmark. As we saw Denmark get super aggressive on Pizzi. He was trying to make that move by De Alba in turn number 1. And that's the thing. When you get aggressive and start going on the defense, and there's guys behind you, they're going to get ready to take advantage of it. In race number 3, Jack, in USF Juniors, you were right there. You had the 2 VRD drivers right in front of you. Max Taylor was there. Jimmy Lockhart was there. Those guys were going at it. I thought they were going to crash. You were right there ready to pick them up, but they didn't. They did a good job and brought it home, but you were probably ready to jump on any opportunity. Yeah,
I was for sure ready to jump. You know, they were going side-by-side in corners where you can't really go side-by-side, but a lot of respect between the two, and it was a nice front row seat, but again, I was kind of hoping that, you know, they would have a little bobble and I could pick up both positions.
There it is, more of that battling further back. You see some defensive running. That's Jordan Missing, I think, trying to make a move here now by Pizzi. No, that's in the middle. That is Missing. Jordan Missing to the inside. Gonna watch. He's gonna have a lot of wheel in it. Missing trying to get by as he is moving hard here. Pizzi's going in the wrong direction. Remember, Francesco Pizzi comes into the day sitting second place in points. Started on the outside of the front row, but he is going in the wrong direction as he's getting reeled in here. Pizzi's going back a couple of spots, and he's got a bunch of drivers that are trying to find a way by. He's got Missig, he's got Garg, he's got Brown, all trying to find a way by here. There's Pizzi, number 55 for TJ Speed. Missig, not able to get the job done. And another driver in front of them is driven off. That might be Jackson Lee. Someone went four wheels off coming out of turn number 5. That's going to take away a lot of your run over to turn number 7. So not a calm race at all for USF Pro 2000. The back end of their doubleheader here at the Cooper Tires Grand Prix of Sebring. Rowe, there's the gap all the way. Wow. That is a big gap back now to Zendelli. Over 3.5 seconds. Miles Rowe putting his stamp on the start of the season. I think you got to go back potentially to the early run of Christian Rasmussen, maybe over in USF 2000 when I think he won the first 7 races in a row to get that big start. But then he had a bit of a lull mid-season, and the gap that was once, I think, almost 70 points fell all the way down to just 3 points. You can never let off the throttle in the championship battle. You never know what could happen with a couple of DNFs, one bad weekend somewhere, everybody else comes calling. And there is the gap between first and second. Rowe will not let off the throttle now, looking for his 3rd straight victory. Big lead. And Zendelli, though, is in a fight because Kiko Porto's coming. Long straightaway. Does Porto get there? He's not close enough. Jack, USF Juniors, what kind of pull do you get there? Is the draft enough in those cars that you can feel the pull coming down the straightaway? Or I know there's not a lot of aero downforce in those cars, but can you feel that draft coming down that long straight?
Yes, you can definitely feel it. It's not as strong as some other cars. It may not be as strong as these cars, but there's definitely a pull, and if you're close enough, you'll definitely get sucked up and have a good shot going into turn 1 or turn 17.
Out of turn number 1. The driver's rolling through here once again. Field a separate little bit. It was essentially nose to tail, almost a train for a number of laps there. But we have ourselves a number of little battles that have kind of splintered off. Lindsay Brewer just made a great move off camera to get to the inside of Nick Monteiro down into turn number 17. So she's got another spot. She'll move her way up into 17th position. But here's that battle we've been watching for a bit here. That is Pizzi now trying to hold off, I believe, Jackson Lee. Oh, and there's Brewer, and she's off the racetrack and has high-centered it. She has gone around, and that thing is up. I don't know whether or not she'll be able to fire. If she does, she may be able to come off the curb, or that could be a full-course caution. We're just past the halfway point, 8 laps down, and she's trying to rev that engine to try to get it across. But as I said, high-centered up on the curbing. And we'll see whether or not she's able to get that thing off. I don't think that she will. I have a feeling that we're going to see a full-course caution come out off. See the camera right on it. Race control can see this. So at this point, seeing how this thing's going to play out, looking down here beside me, indeed, full-course yellow has come out. And that will bring it all back together. That 4.7-second lead for Miles Rowe has evaporated. Everybody will line back up. Lots of time. This is not going to take much time to get her back on the racetrack. Lindsay, of course, high centering, as I said. So this is going to bring Zendelli, Porto, De Alba, Denmark all right back. And if you think these drivers are hungry, they're not going to want to see this happen again. And actually, you know who else is it's huge for? It's massive for Michael D'Orlando as well. He spun with so far back. Jack Jeffers, this is an unbelievable recovery. An opportunity for D'Orlando to score back some big points.
Yeah, great opportunity for D'Orlando. You know, I think, you know, they didn't retire him from the race because they expected a full course caution because the racing's just so aggressive. You know, something's bound to happen because, you know, drivers sometimes can't find the limits. But D'Orlando is going to be back in this race, and I wouldn't be surprised if we see him in the top 10 anytime soon.
Yeah, you know what? I don't think that's anything out of the question. 9 laps down. Let's say we get this taken care of because they've already got, I think, Lindsay put back onto the racetrack, I think. Maybe she's on the other side. They may actually have to drag her off because obviously I don't know whether or not they're going to be able to push it enough, so they may have to get her hooked up and then literally pull her back onto the racetrack. So we may lose a couple of laps here, 9 laps down. When they get back around, they'll put lap number 10 in the books. Let's just say we were able to go back green the next one. That would be 11 laps. That could leave us with potentially 4 laps to go. As we said, though, you look at fast laps right now. Last time by, the fast lap laid down on lap number 8, a 1:59.934 for Miles Rowe. Based on fast laps, he was almost a full second quicker than Liram Zendelli, about 0.6 faster than both Porto and De Alba. That guy is an absolute rocket right now, and I think Pabst Racing, whatever they've done over the offseason, they worked hard to balance up their setup. Last year we saw them anywhere from 4th, usually back to maybe the podium here, but 4th essentially back to like 8th, 9th, or 10th. They have definitely done their homework. Augie Pabst and his crew, Tony Kasimets, they have found what they needed in this car. Whatever they have, they got better balance, they got good speed, and they have come out as really the team to beat right now here. Pabst Racing, again, currently running 1st with Rowe, 5th with Denmark, and then we know that Missig back in the 12th spot in the middle of a pretty good scrap. So that 4.7 second lead for Rowe is gone, but again, he has this pace. They'll have to attack him early because we've talked about this throughout the weekend, Jack. Again, Jack Jeffers joining me here, the USF Juniors driver. P3 in the points right now after 3 top 5 finishes in USF Juniors with exclusive Autosport. Best place to get positions, the start and a restart, right? Even though we're single file, it's a good opportunity to attack. I got to expect Zendelli, Porto, De Alba, they're all going to try to see if they can't find a way by.
Yeah, you're exactly right. I would be surprised if they stay in line, but if I was second and third, I would be very, very aggressive on Miles and pressure him and make sure that he has to block and stay off the racing line because, as we've seen, he's an absolute rocket ship.
Yeah, and watch for everybody to do it. If one guy gets into them, let's see whether or not they all try to capitalize on it. But again, coming out of the corner, Rowe's the driver that gets to set the pace. If he has any kind of a jump and punches off, and he's going to get at least a bit of a nanosecond to be able to get ahead of them. He's going to be the first guy on the throttle. That's going to change things. I think, really, I don't know if this is going to make a big deal for Liram Zendelli, Kiko Porter, or Salvador De Alba. They're all going to be fighting to stay on the podium or try to get a spot from each other. They may not even – they're thinking about Rowe, but realistically, they're probably going to battle each other. I really think, as we said before, this is going to be the big – benefactor for Michael D'Orlando. He was so far back, this is going to give him a chance to potentially get into the top 10.
Yeah, for sure. I think Michael will get back to the top 10. You know, maybe he can get up there. If they battle Rowe a lot, they'll be able to – oh, it looks like a bag's on track. If they battle Rowe, you know, D'Orlando might get up there. It just depends on how aggressive they get. But, yeah.
We'll watch the time as well, Jack. 18:22 still remaining. We're going to come around to put lap 10 in the book. So we are going to have 5 laps, so that's really only about 10 minutes. So we're probably okay on time unless we get another one. Green flag flying. We're back racing once again. Zendelli not yet in the position. So here's the attack we thought coming. De Alba's going to throw it down the bottom of Porto. Porto going to try to run the rim, see if he can't hold the spot. It is De Alba down to the inside. More drivers, one of them 4 wheels off. That is Missig. He's gone 4 wheels off, comes back on the racetrack. He'll lose at least 2 or 3 spots. And look at Porto using up De Alba coming through turn number 3. De Alba getting aggressive. And again, here's the run out of 5 over to 6. Another really good opportunity to pass on the first circuit after a restart. Everybody, of course, lining things back up. The tire's not back up to temp quite yet. And again, there's your lead for Rowe over Zendelli. Everybody stacking up. And in fact, look at Ushijima. He's the one that I think's trying the outside. He may have got by Jace Denmark. Reese Ushijima. They'll come out of turn number 7 through 8, 9, and we'll wait till they pop back into review here in turn number 10. We'll see what kind of a gap we have. There is Rowe, Zendelli, Porto, and indeed, it's still De Alba holding off Ushijima. I think Denmark's gone back to P6, so Reese Ushijima in the J. Howard driver development machine up to P5. Good run for him. Denmark back into the 5th spot, or 6th, with Grand Force in 7th. So again, here they come through, as I said. It'll be lap 11 when they come back around, and like shot out of a cannon, the pace there for Miles Rowe. He handles the start, and he handles the restart. Pizzi now going to work, trying to find a way by Jack Miller as another yellow flag flying in that corner, and we're full course yellow again. Full course yellow once again. Quick scan of the cameras. I don't see the reason for it as of now, being told number 19 in turn 3. That would be Jordan Missig. In turn 3, you wonder whether or not the off-track excursion might have broke something. And down into turn 3, of course, was the next corner after that. He may have went straight off.
Yeah, he went really far off in turn 1 and maybe had some dirt and locked up and nosed into the wall. I mean, anything could have happened, but very unfortunate there for Jordan Missig.
Yeah, and for us, it's going to be how much is the damage. It looks to me, watching the AMR safety crew, that maybe just a push. Maybe they're going to be able to get him just pulled out of it. He just wasn't able to get it refired and out of the tires. but a tough one, a tough way to end a pretty good weekend for Jordan Missig, as he was a driver of the top 5 for a majority of the weekend. Started this one a little deeper in the field at 9th position, but he's shown good speed. Field working their way through, so they'll be able to see the incident themselves. They come through turn number 3. 11 laps down, so they'll put lap 12 in the books next time by. I don't think we're going to go green next time by, so if we come back around, that'll be 12, then potentially 13. We may find ourselves with a 2-lap battle. Rowe, Zendelli, Porto, De Alba, and Ushijima as he capitalizes on the restart to get by Jace Denmark. Joel Granforce in 7th, Jack William Miller in 8th, Francesco Pizzi in 9th, and Jackson Lee rounding out the top 10. Jonathan Brown, in 11th. Bajoy Garg, 12th. Ricardo Escoto, Christian Weir, and Michael D'Orlando, 13th, 14th, 15th. Another one for D'Orlando, stacking him back up. He got at least 3 spots there. Sundar Murthy, same. He's in the 16th spot. Montiero, 17th. Missig and Brewer. Both those drivers a couple laps down after the incidents that slowed things in the second half of the race. Another opportunity for D'Orlando. Jack, he's able to go, from 19th up into 15th? Maybe 13th, maybe 12th before it's all done?
Yeah, another good opportunity for D'Orlando. One thing I'm thinking about is, although he's already caught up to the group, this double yellow is going to take time off the race for him to gain even more positions. So I don't know if this will help or hurt him. We'll just have to see.
Yeah, we would have to go back and kind of find out where he was. Was he right there on the back of Christian Weir, or was there a bit of a gap when him having to come through? Obviously, it's a different situation, but right now he'll be on the gearbox of Weir coming down into turn number 1. So I would expect to see him pretty aggressive, because at this point, with 3 disappointing results to his credit, he's going to want to see if he can't get something to salvage coming down to here before we go to Indianapolis in May. Still working on the car. There's a shot of turn number 3. That's out of 5 over to 3. And they're still, I think, trying to get things dialed in here for Jordan Missig. Lap 12 will go in the books next time, but I don't know if Missig is refired and is rolling again at this point, or if they're just kind of dialing things in here. No, I think they're still working on him. In fact, that may be Jordan climbing out of the car right now, too. So that's not good for anybody trying to move up the order. With him out of the car, they may have to put it on the hook, and there is not a tow truck there yet. I think it's only the safety vehicles, I believe, that have got there. So waiting to see. They're trying to grab that hook. Jordan getting back in. No, he's out of the car. Jordan Missig out of the car. Unless they can roll this thing out of the way, this is going to be tough to potentially go back to green flag. We have lots of time still. There's 4 laps still to go. 13 minutes on the clock. It's a 40-minute window to run 15 laps. Drivers doing their best to keep those Cooper tires clean here. Try to keep some heat built into them. Right now, though, Miles Rowe holding the spot. I'll tell you this, Race Control will do everything they can, even if it's a 1-lap dash at the end. That we've always done that. If there's any possible way to come back around and go green flag racing, we'll do so. Lap 12 in the books this time. Fastest lap, a 159.934. So you talk about stacking up the points. 30 points for a race win, 1 point for pole, 1 point for most laps led, and 1 point for the fastest lap of the race. Already Moreau with the most laps led at 12 now. As he led the opening lap, he's led from the get-go. Looking to get 30 points to stretch away. His primary contender, second place in points coming in, Pizzi, is down in 9th. So the amount of ground stretching away here for Rowe, if he's able to hold on to the position, is staggering. What a start. P3 in the opening race at St. Petersburg, wins the back end of the doubleheader, kicks off the weekend here at Sebring with a victory yesterday, and tries to wrap it up here as well with another one. That would be 3 straight victories for Miles Rowe. They do have the tow truck out here now, which will be able to hook up to the machine of Jordan Missig, the Pabst racing car. From there, they'll be able to potentially just get him behind the wall. At this point, they won't bring him, I don't think, all the way back to the paddock. They'll just try to get him behind the retaining wall so we're able to go back to green. I got a feeling we're going to see this as a 1-lap dash. I don't think we're going to get it coming around, so that would be lap 13. They're just starting to get the thing hooked up. They have to run, of course, the bar through the roll hoop to be able to lift that car up and get it secured. So your top 10 sees Rowe, Zendelli, Porto, De Alba, and Ushijima. Denmark 6th, Granforce 7th, Miller 8th, Pizzi 9th, and Jackson Lee 10th. You haven't had a chance to have a yellow flag here at USF Juniors because you guys went green to checker both times, but you've had it before potentially in some races. In your mind, Jack, let's say you're out here and you have one of these things. What are you doing in your mind to try to stay focused right now? Are you planning the first move? Is that the idea?
You can plan the first move, but my main focus is just keeping the heat in the tires because that's key. And I'm noticing Miles Rowe working his tires much more than the guys behind him, and I think that he realizes it might be a one-lap shootout. And if he has more heat in the brakes and tires, that's going to give him a massive advantage over the air drivers.
Yeah, and your focus then is to take care of your machinery. You got to take care of the equipment, make sure it's ready to go. And I think that's key because, again, you're going to try to throw it down into turn number 1. Everybody's going to try in 1. They're all going to try in turn number 3 or turn number 7. So you have to make sure you do the best you can to get the grip levels where they need to be in these tires. Drivers coming out of turn 10. And, again, they still have not yet got the car of Missing out of the way yet. Actually, maybe they have. I'm trying to see whether or not they've got it hooked up yet. We would have to go green, I believe, next time by lap 13 in the books next time. So we if they wanted one lap, they essentially have another lap and a half to get this done. The AMR safety crew out there as well to try to help get this car up on the hook. Missing, as we said, talked about it, went through turn number 1, got off the track on the restart, and essentially went 4 wheels off. And it's pretty bumpy on the outside of turn number 1. These cars are very stiffly sprung, as I said, low ride height. Not surprising he might have bent something, a toe link or something, or even broke it coming down into turn number 3 and maybe not able to get anything around. Getting a call that we're going to go green flag racing this next time by. If we may get a green this next time, that would make it 2 laps. So indeed, 2-lap dash. We're going to see what happens coming into turn number 1. Who's done the best job? They're going to be aggressive on the wheel here coming up. And you see Miles Rowe getting that wheel back and forth, getting the heat into those tires, keeping them nice and clean. Porto doing the same. Zendelli ready to attack. In fact, everybody ready to attack because I don't care if you're battling for 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 10th, 11th, or 12th. Oh, back down. We're still yellow. So we're still yellow, so we're not going green this time. This is going to be 1 lap. Based on the cameras we're seeing, they're going to be pulling his car away now. So close. They've got the car hooked up because not only do they have to lift it up, but they also have to secure it on both sides so it doesn't start teetering all over and have damage. So you can see the crew is getting that car of Jordan Missing off the racetrack. They'll get him out of harm's way. So we won't go green this time, so 1 lap. Jack, how aggressive would you be? Are you thinking points? Like, I guess everybody's in a different spot, right? Kiko Porto, man, he had a rough day yesterday. He's happy with 3rd. He's probably not going to want to throw that away. Zendelli, though, he wants that win. How aggressive is he going to be? How aggressive would you be?
I would be super aggressive. You know, if Rowe is blocking, but there's space on the inside, I would consider throwing it down the inside. I mean, I would do everything in my power to go for it. And you know Rowe is not going to be as aggressive for having an amazing opener at Sebring. You know, he's just here to get points and make sure he doesn't throw his championship away too early.
You think about that. I just don't know because I know Rowe is always thinking about that race win, right? Is he going to be super aggressive? But you're right. 2nd place, and he still walks away with a massive lead, especially if you sit back and look at Pizzi, who is 2nd place in points, is down in 9th. Pizzi and Denmark tied coming in. Jace Denmark in 6th. Even 2nd place, and Rowe leads with a massive point lead heading to Indianapolis.
Yeah, he would have a massive points lead, and you know, we'll just see. Every driver has a different mindset. You know, their engineers are talking to them about how aggressive to be. I think Kiko Porto will be very aggressive. I think Denmark will be aggressive. I think everybody's going to be very aggressive.
Aggressive is the order of the day, Jack says. So, yeah, hold on, folks. We'll see what happens. They'll take the car of Missing. They're able to go through turn number 7 and take him all the way back to the paddock. So there you go. We are clinging in green. I believe we're going to go green next time by. It'll probably get, it's going to be green and white at the line. So we're going to have a 1-lap dash to wrap things up here. 6:38 left on the clock. Just enough time, I think, to get this done. And indeed, Miles Rowe is going to have to defend on another restart. Now, Zendelli has not showed, at least in the last restart, did not get the elbows up, did not show the ability to potentially stay with them. So Zendelli's going to have to be on the gearbox and be ready to go when they come through Sunset Bend, because this is the opportunity to potentially go for the win. And great to see 5 different teams currently in the top 5. Pabst Racing, TJ Speed, D-Force Exclusive, and Jay Howard, all in the top 5 right now. You go back to Jace Denmark in Pabst Racing in P6 to get the second team, first team with 2 drivers. So indeed, parity up front. Number of drivers looking to try to go to the podium. Miles Rowe trying to hold on. He's led from the get-go, but can he lead the lap that means the most? And that is the final circuit. We'll see the green and white when they come back around. 2 straight wins for Rowe. Backing up that third place finish in the opening round at St. Petersburg. Wins on Sunday after the IndyCar race at St. Pete. Comes back here and in the first race able to win as well. Could be 3 victories to start the season for Miles Rowe. And what a cushion that would give him heading into the Indianapolis Motor Speedway Road Course. Of course, then onto the Oval. And we look forward to Road America. So many great venues on the schedule this year for USF Pro 2000. They'll join USF Juniors again right at the end of the season, right before the season finale at the Circuit of the Americas. It'll be Juniors and Pro 2000. And, of course, they'll head across the country to Portland International Raceway for the finale. Juniors with Jack Jeffers will cap off their season at COTA, as we did last year. So this time they're building the heat for a reason, and that's to go back to green. Rowe, the first driver to get in line. It's time to go at it. Everybody lined up. The remaining drivers set to battle it out here. Who's going to take the race win? Can Rowe defend? Nice and slow on the entry. Spooling it up, and he gets on it early before they even get to the apex. Down to the bottom of the racetrack. What kind of a run do we get from Zendelli? Good start there, and Rowe's going to stay to the bottom. Looks in his mirrors and realizes they're right there. Zendelli's right with him. Zendelli to the bottom. Porto to the outside. Zendelli going to try the outside run. No, the over-under. Good job for Rowe to the bottom, but he gets a little wiggle mid-corner. Lost the rear end. Zendelli going to attack. Zendelli to the inside. More drivers slipping and sliding. Zendelli to the outside. And he tried to get it by. Couldn't quite get it. Does he stick to the inside here? He does it. Porto looking to the inside as well. Man, I thought that Rowe was in trouble. Mid-corner oversteer, had to correct. Able to stay on the throttle, and Zendelli not able to capitalize. Can he do it going down into turn number 7? He closes under the braking. He'll have to throw it in deep if he wants it. Not quite there. Zendelli holding on. Not able to get it further back either for De Alba as he looks to try to get P3 from Kiko Porto. Again, like I said, De Alba right out of the car, onto the airplane to Miami to head back for a Mexican NASCAR race, but he wants to get on the podium first. Into the blind spot. Coming back over to turn number 10. There's the lead. Rowe, Zendelli. And a good recovery so far for Porto. He's got a little bit of a gap from De Alba. They'll work their way now through 11, 12, 13. That's the right-hander that sets the straight all the way back over to turn number 15 and 16, the combination corner that leads into one of the key points of the racetrack here now. And Zendelli's not close enough. Miles Rowe has got it done. What an impressive lap here. Final circuit on the race. Big gap, big battle back there from probably 8th on back. And there's one driver slowing deep. That might be Denmark. I think Denmark might have slowed on the last lap, right there in 16. But here they come down again. Further back outside the top 6 or 7. The battle are going to go side by side. Everybody's going to defend to the inside. That might be, I think, Grand Force potentially down to the bottom. Oh, Porto trying to go to work on Zendelli. That's the battle for second. And here they come onto the front straightaway. Ladies and gentlemen, what a performance. Back to back to back jacks for Miles Rowe as he wins again. 3 straight victories to start the season. Rowe, 2 big wins in Sebring. Liram Zendelli holding off a determined Kiko Porto at the end. That's your podium. Rowe, Zendelli, and Porto. Ushijima holds on for 4th. Lee in 5th. Who fell down the order? De Alba going down the order. I'm not sure what happened to Salvador De Alba. Was he the driver who had the trouble potentially over in turn number 12? I thought it was Denmark. Indeed, Denmark all the way down to 17th. De Alba's going to end up in 16th. So an issue for Salvador De Alba. Something happened on the final circuit there. But Miles Rowe with the win. Zendelli in 2nd, Porto 3rd, Ushijima 4th, and Jackson Lee ends up in 5th after we saw the gaggle of drivers get together. Grand Force potentially involved in that one. De Alba, Denmark potentially fighting in that last lap. Michael D'Orlando, Jack Jeffers, 11th.
Wow, what a result. I think good comeback considering he was, I don't even know where, in the last place after, I forget what lap it was, but yeah, I think they're going to be happy with that. And,
Your first opportunity in the broadcast booth to have some fun?
Yeah, it was really fun.
All right. There he goes, folks. Jack Jeffers, follow him all year long in USF Juniors, running for exclusive Autosport, third place in points as he'll head to the next race as USF Juniors going to join IndyCar at Barber Motorsports Park. Again, Rose, Zendelli, and Porto, the drivers on the podium. We'll head there right now. Don't go anywhere. We'll run a couple of commercials, and then we'll be live from Victory Lane.
We're like any normal family. We just get shorter wait times because we buy and book online at discounttire.com.
So easy.
Which gives us more time for things like...
Come on, Mom.
Ready? And it's all thanks to Kyle. Thank you. Get 30% shorter average wait time when you buy and book online at discounttire.com.
Let's get you taken care of.
Your Uncle Cooper. Your SUV is a multi-purpose tool, like a corkscrew fish scaler. And that means your tires should be multi-purpose too. Like these Cooper rugged Treks. They're tough, but also run smooth as butter. And with dual sidewalls, it's like having a multi-tool that can look like a completely different multi-tool. Don't take that idea, by the way. I'm gonna patent it. Go with the Coopers. Cooper! It's your Uncle Cooper. Sure, once in a blue moon, you might need your tires for hauling a horse in a hailstorm. But most days, you're gonna need your tires for tougher things, like teaching your sister's kid how to parallel park. Thankfully, these Cooper Enduramaxes aren't just tough, they're everyday tough. Okay, there's a lot of improvement. Go with the Coopers. Cooper!
We're like any normal family. We just get shorter wait times because we buy and book online at discounttire.com.
So easy.
Which gives us more time for things like...
Come on, Mom.
It's ready.
Wow. Are you sure it's ready?
Oh, it's ready.
And it's all thanks to Kyle. Thank you. Get 30% shorter average wait time when you buy and book online at discounttire.com.
Let's get you taken care of.
It's your Uncle Cooper. If you and your truck are constantly tackling the regular duties of the day, go with a tire that can handle them all. Oh, man. I stepped in it. Go with the Coopers.
Discount Tire can change my tires and wiper blades at the same time. You can change your tires and wiper blades at the same time with Discount Tire.
I'm going back to bed.
You can change your tires and wiper blades at the same time with Discount Tire.
Check.
This is the USF Pro Championships, the world's greatest motorsports ladder program with a proven formula, where top junior drivers from around the world come to compete across the best tracks in North America, where the opportunity to climb to the top is guaranteed, promoting every champion to the next stage. where champions are made and legends established. 52 races, over 50 up-and-coming drivers, and 3 scholarships valued at over $1.3 million. The USF Pro Championships, tomorrow's champions, forged today.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we are set to go right now here for Victory Lane for the Cooper Tires Grand Prix of Sebring, as the drivers at USF Pro 2000 capping off their doubleheader with an exciting race, a couple of yellow flags and some really wild battling at the end. Let's get to it with the podium here right now. Trophies are waiting for them up top, so no presenters. We'll start with the driver coming home in third. A great recovery after a DNF. Yesterday for D-Force Racing P3 is Kiko Porto. Finishing in the second spot here today. For TJ Speed on the podium for the first time here, Liram Zendelli. And what a start to the season for this driver. Third in the opening round, then back-to-back jacks. 3 straight wins, the point leader in the winner today. Put your hands together for Miles Rowe. You're liking this right now, aren't you?
It's pretty good, man.
Obviously pressured big time. A couple of yellow flags. We know you've had the pace all weekend long. You were able to get the lead. Let's talk about that first. What an aggressive start there, getting to the inside of D. Orlando, and both of you guys were sideways coming through turn number 1.
Yeah, turn number 1 is really sketchy here, man. And yeah, I knew I had to make a move quick, just like yesterday, and luckily was able to find a little open door, and took my shot, and luckily it stuck. Pulled away, and unfortunately we had a full course caution there at the end. I didn't even look in my mirrors, but when they called full course caution, I saw how much of a lead I had.
4.7 seconds.
Wow. So yeah, I was like, when I saw the lead I had, I was like, crap, like it's gonna be a lot. And then yeah, the second one came out, and I was like, man, it's gonna be a last lap kind of thing. And I didn't execute the restart very well at all. Like it was Liram was about to get me, and I had to defend a little bit. But yeah, we put it off, man. Thanks to Force Indy, Paps Racing, Penske Entertainment, Sparco, Bell, NXG, Simcraft. It's none of this would be possible without them, man. And like, yeah, they believed in me. Like I wasn't driving for such a long time, and now we're here winning races in Pro 2000. So I just couldn't be more ecstatic.
You kind of got to keep things level-headed too, right? Great start, but there's a long way to go in this season still.
Oh yeah, man. Like we're not even a third of the way through, So it's just about keeping your head down and focusing forward, and working on your weak points and enhancing your strong points, and that's what we'll do.
Congratulations. Grab your trophy. There he is, folks. Miles Rowe, 3 straight wins. He's got a great point lead heading to the month of May. What a drive for Miles Rowe. Great to see Liram Zendelli as well. His debut here on the podium. Great run for him. For TJ Speed, had to hold off a charging Kiko Porto at the end. They battle each other in turn number 17, but that was a really strong run. Great drive for our pilots here in USF Pro 2000, and great to see all the different teams up here as well. Once again, 3 different teams on the podium. We saw this in USF Juniors as well. Paps Racing, TJ Speed, and D-Force all on the podium here on the back end of the doubleheader for USF Pro 2000, presented by Cooper Tires. Talented drivers all looking to make their move into the Indy Next Series and potentially into the IndyCar program. And again, of course, that scholarship worth over $664,000 waiting for one of these drivers in Portland, Oregon, when we wrap things up on the Labor Day weekend. We got a lot of great drivers and a long way to go before we get there. We got an oval race still to come. We got another temporary circuit race up in Toronto. We'll hit some of the most iconic racetracks in the U.S. as we work our way towards that finale weekend. But right now, it's all about Miles Rowe. 3 straight victories gives him a nice, comfortable lead heading into the Indianapolis Motor Speedway Road Course race, the start of the month of May. Taking the time to get the hats of our sponsors, of course, the Cooper Tire winter hats, Discount Tire as well. And after that, we'll bring out the champagne, let these drivers celebrate things. Still one more race, of course, on the docket for USF 2000. Paps team, if you want to come in here and move your car, you're welcome to do so. Paps, you can get that car out of the way. Otherwise, you're going to be waxing the sticky champagne off of it. Otherwise, folks, we're set to go. Drivers, congratulations. Let's have some fun. Let's celebrate. Go up and grab that champagne. Let's get underway. Guys, grip it and rip it. There they go. The champagne flying here for the drivers in Pro 2000. And indeed, going after Rowe in a big way. Folks, thanks for tuning in for this broadcast here. We're back with another one. USF 2000 is going to cap off Saturday's action. Their first of 2 races. Of course, they're back for qualifying 2 and race 2 tomorrow, but we'll cap off the day here from Sebring in about an hour's time. USF 2000 next up. Folks, thank you for tuning in. We hope you tune in for that one. It's going to be a barn burner for sure. We appreciate you tuning in, and we'll see you then. Thanks, folks. We appreciate it. My name's Rob Howden. Bye for now.